Developing tonight, a mother confirms to Fox 26 that her missing adult daughter is dead. Now an arrest has been made in connection with the case of Ann Christine Johnson of League City. A Texas law enforcement officer resigns after allegations surfaced that he had a sexual relationship with a 13-year-old girl. And we are just hours away from a whole new year, but the celebrations have already started. We'll take you there. Fox 26 News at 5 starts right now. Good evening, almost Happy New Year. I'm Caitlin Monty. Let's talk about what's happening all around Houston tonight. The mother of 30-year-old Ann Christine Johnson, who went missing earlier this month, says police have told her Ann Christine's body has been found. She says her daughter's body was found wrapped in a plastic sheet in the garage of her ex-husband's home. Fox 26's Lindsay Henry is following the story and joins us now to clarify all of the latest.
Well, what we now know is that a body was found at the home of 31-year-old Sean Phillip Hardy, who is Johnson's ex-husband. Police have arrested him for allegedly tampering with evidence, as well as failure to report human remains.
After weeks of searching and investigating the case, League City Police obtained a search warrant for 31-year-old Sean Hardy's home.
Investigators determined that that location, the residence, and the property was a crime scene. They got a warrant or procured a warrant for the property that would allow them to search the property, and they located human remains.
Ann Christine Johnson was reported missing December 12th after not showing up for a family dinner. Within the days to follow, Texas EquiSearch canvassed the area. On Friday, League City Police obtained enough information to search Hardy's home in the 600 block of Chesterfield Lane, where we're told Johnson was last seen getting into a vehicle across the street.
We spoke with everybody who needed to be spoke with that we felt could give us any information on the investigation.
Stephanie Johnson says police told her that her daughter's body had been found in the garage of the house, wrapped in a plastic sheet. Police say a child was also home at the time of the search.
There was a child in the house, and that child was removed from the location by a family member.
Now, a previous police report from the summer of 2015 shows the spouses assaulted one another. Johnson had 2 children, a 5-year-old with Hardy and another child who lives out of the area with his father. Again, Hardy has been charged with allegedly tampering with evidence as well as failure to report finding human remains. We'll continue to update you of this, of course, as we find out more information. Live in the newsroom, Lindsay Henry, Fox 26 News.
Thank you, Lindsay. Now to some breaking news. A federal judge in Texas has halted certain Obama administration health rules that were supposed to support the transgender community. Judge Reed O'Connor ruled enforcing the laws, which were intended to ban discrimination by doctors against transgender persons, would violate the Religious Freedom Restoration Act. O'Connor is the same judge that sided with Republican-controlled states earlier this year over transgender protections in public schools sought by the Obama administration. Now, Fox 26 is your Gulf Coast Weather Authority. A lot of people heading out tonight on this last day of 2016, but we have a little bit of rain. Chief Meteorologist Dr. Jim Siebert is here to tell us if any more of that rain is on the way and what we can expect for our big parties tonight.
Well, we certainly had a lot of rain to start the day, Caitlin, but we're not going to end it that way. As we look at our Fox Red Storm Seeker radar, most of the heavy rain is now into Louisiana, so their parties are going to be influenced by that. If you want to do any fireworks tonight, though, the rain certainly made things a little bit safer out there as far as some soggy conditions, but we don't want the rain during the evening hours for our parties. So you look across Texas, 70s, 60s, it's mild for this time of year. There's an area of low pressure off to the west. It's not going to have a huge impact on us for tomorrow, other than to help kind of keep sort of the weather, the pattern the same. But it is going to change by Monday as an area of low pressure is expected to come into the southern part of the state and pull up there to the north. So we're going to be kind of in between things for Sunday. So highs today, mild for this time of year. Tomorrow, could be even warmer for some places, but I do think it's going to be damp this night. Also, fog is going to be an issue we're going to talk about in the Fox Red forecast. And as we start 2017, I got some big changes to talk about, not only for rain, possibly some cooler weather too. It's all coming up in just a few minutes.
Thanks so much. Around Houston today, the wife of a deputy was among 2 women killed in a major car crash in Rosenberg. It happened around 3 this morning on US 59 North at the Cottonwood Travel Plaza. Investigators say a Chevy Silverado and an 18-wheeler collided. 26-year-old Marissa Rodriguez and 24-year-old Nicolette Hubater were killed. They were passengers in that Chevy. One of them, the wife of a Fort Bend County deputy. At least 3 others were hurt in the crash. The cause still under investigation. A fatal night in Houston nightlife. Police searching for a gunman who shot 3 in Midtown this morning. It happened in a parking lot next to several nightclubs on Fannin at Holman. Police say an argument broke out and someone pulled out a gun and shot 3 people. 2 of the victims were brought to the hospital in a private vehicle. 1 later died. Third victim managed to run to a parking garage for help. He was picked up there by an ambulance. Now to Southwest Houston, where police hope cameras around an apartment complex captured whoever is responsible for this deadly shooting in a parking lot on County Creek. Police say they got the call about a man who fired several times, saying about 20 shell casings were found at the scene. Police now trying to determine if perhaps there was more than one shooter involved, but that victim died at the hospital. You expect law enforcement to protect, particularly the community's most vulnerable, but a former officer outside San Antonio may have proven to have done quite the opposite, accused of having an ongoing sexual relationship with a 13-year-old girl. His name is Juvenile Detention Officer Jesus Gonzalez, or at least former officer. He was arrested this week. The 42-year-old reportedly told the girl he loved her and wanted to marry her. Elmendorf authorities say his phone contained lewd photos of the girl sent at his request. Now, Gonzalez recently did resign, thus the former officer position. He resigned at the Bexar County Juvenile Detention Center, the police chief, this week, calling the allegations troubling.
Honestly, saddened and appalled. Honestly, as the chief of police for Elmendorf Police Department, I'm really appalled.
The alleged affair was unfortunately discovered by the teen's mother, who found some of those photos. Also happening around Texas, Planned Parenthood asked a federal judge to stop the state from cutting it from its Medicaid program. The clinic filed the lawsuit this week in Austin, Texas, being one of several states that have elected to deny Medicaid funding to Planned Parenthood, which provides women's health services ranging from pregnancy care to STD screenings. Currently, no public funding in Texas is used for Planned Parenthood abortion programs, but the reduction of $4 million in funding is expected to impact nearly 11,000 low-income women across the state. Hey, it's New Year's Eve. Getting ready to party, perhaps? Celebrations have already begun around the globe as we prepare in the U.S. for that time to come. Fox News correspondent Lauren Blanchard has more from the biggest party in the country, Times Square.
As 2016 draws to a close, revelers around the globe are bidding adieu to a turbulent year. People across Asia and Australia were the first to celebrate the start of 2017.
I'll be more successful this year. I'll strive for better.
During the last evening prayers of the year, Pope Francis calling on the faithful to help young people find purpose in the world.
To speak of a year's end is to feel the need to reflect on how concerned we are about the place of our young people in our society.
At outdoor New Year's Eve events around the UK, security has been increased following the attacks in Berlin and Nice this year. In London, where 1,000 tickets have been sold to watch the fireworks, more armed officers have been deployed. There are also more places around the city where vehicles are banned.
We expect to give everyone an enjoyable and a safe evening, and we are ready to make that a reality.
In Berlin, the mood was more somber than celebratory. In her New Year's message, German Chancellor Angela Merkel telling fellow citizens their country is stronger than terrorism.
Cohesion, openness, our democracy, and a strong economy that serves the well-being of all. This is what makes me confident for our future here in Germany.
New York City is deploying 65 trucks to serve as barriers around Times Square with at least 2 security checkpoints to enter the viewing zones. Around 1 million people are expected to attend the world-famous countdown here in New York City's Times Square. Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
So what would New Year's Eve be without some fireworks, right? A lot of people may be doing that tonight. For those of you who are going to be lighting the fuses, some quick legal reminders for you. First, do not do it within the city limits of Houston. You could face a huge fine ranging from $500 to $2,000 for each individual firework. Now, if your child is the one using the firework, you, the parent, are financially responsible. If you're in unincorporated Harris County, there are still some spots where fireworks are not allowed, like near churches, hospitals, schools, child care centers, unless you have explicit written permission. So keep it safe. Know where you are before you light up the sky tonight. Now, as if dealing with death of a loved one wasn't troubling enough, Some Houston area families weren't even getting their tombstones that they paid for. But now this holiday season, a local angel steps in to help. Fox 26 consumer reporter Emily Aiken has this touching follow-up after the break. Welcome back. I'm Caitlin Monty, 511 now, and you know when you take it to Aiken, you get results, right? In October, Fox 26 consumer reporter Emily Aiken shared a story about families waiting for grave markers purchased from a cemetery store. Some had been waiting for over a year. That cemetery store never delivered, but a generous viewer did.
In October, we heard a story about families waiting, some over a year, for grave markers purchased from the cemetery store. The cemetery store never delivered, but a generous viewer did.
I first met the Reddings in October. They and others had paid the cemetery store for memorials and markers. All were still waiting for their purchases. The Reddings had paid $3,700 for their personal cemetery memorial headstone. Only the gray base had been set. They said cemetery store owner Sherry Sleva told them way back in March that the rest would be set in 2 weeks. Then, after our story aired, Sleva emailed me saying the Reddings memorial would be set by Thanksgiving. It wasn't.
It's one excuse after another.
Well, we've been robbed. That's the way I feel about it, and she should be put in jail.
Julia Medrano, owner of Select Caskets of Texas, saw my story.
Just said, wow, we can help them.
Okay.
That was our immediate thought.
Medrano said she'd seen situations like this before.
It breaks your heart.
She offered to complete as many of the unfinished jobs as possible. And just a few days ago, the Reddings sent me this photo showing their brand new gravestone marker. Medrano had set it for free.
We're willing to help out anybody that was in this situation.
Big thank you to Select Caskets of Texas from me and from the Reddings. I'm Emily Aiken, Fox 26 News.
Well, there was a darkness in the force this week felt by many people all around the galaxy, remembering actress Carrie Fisher, who passed away on Tuesday. Fisher, of course, well known for playing Princess Leia in the Star Wars films. Yesterday, a lightsaber vigil was held at the Alamo Drafthouse in Mason Park, Katy. That's what you're looking at. Some of our Fresco viewers sent us these photos, so shout out to our Fresco team. For Jedis who did not bring their lightsaber, like those you see in the picture, glow sticks were provided. But a reminder that you can join our Fox 26 Citizen Journalist Corps by downloading the free Fresco app. If you snap a shot of something newsworthy and submit it, and we use it, you could get paid. $20 for photos, $50 for videos, and that's, again, if we use your content. So test it out tonight. If you're going to any really sweet New Year's Eve parties, send us videos. We'll see if maybe you get on the air tomorrow. The app is available for Android and iPhones. Now, Fox 26 is your Gulf Coast Weather Authority. Speaking of going out tonight, Chief Meteorologist Dr. Jim Siebert joining us with the Fox Rad forecast. You say the rain out of the picture, at least for the night.
Well, for the most part, Caitlin, I don't think that we're going to see anything like the heavier rain we had today, this morning, because I know a lot of people were kind of nervous about that because the rains were strong. It looked like, oh, we're really going to be soggy. Definitely seeing some improvements. But let me show you why I still think we're going to see a few little sprinkles, and that's just because we have so much low-level moisture coming in. In fact, earlier in the day in Corpus Christi, where they were reading the water vapor, the amount of moisture in the air, it was actually a record amount for this time of year. Which is not really the best news. In other words, it's super humid in southeast and east Texas, and it's probably going to stay that way for the next 24 hours or so. Because when you have so much moisture in the air, it just doesn't take very much to turn it into rain. Now, here in Houston, we still have some clouds, but at least those big showers are gone. So if you're heading out tonight, I think you're going to be just fine. But don't be surprised if a little bit of sprinkle here or there gets you. And also, don't be surprised to see fog. I think that's going to be more of an issue. We'll talk about that in just a second. 60s are current temperatures. West-northwest